Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming this afternoon. Particularly I want to thank the Dallman family, those of you members who are out in the audience today, certainly the staff of SOTA, thank you for being here, and most importantly the students who have come out today to share in this gathering. It's not an easy one, and when we lose a friend, a colleague, a teacher, somebody that we care about and has brought a lot to us, certainly when you go through the process of remembering and taking a moment to remember like we're doing today, it's a very bittersweet occasion because you remember so many wonderful things and it's all laced with the sadness of knowing that person isn't here with us. But it's what we go through, and I want to just remind students, many of you have gone through things similar in your life, some of you may not have, but the reaction you feel to this sort of thing is very individual. So the way you feel about the situation and how you're going to respond to this may be entirely different from the person sitting next to you. So all we do is we respect where we're all coming from and have patience as we all process these big changes and this transition in our own way. So thanks again for being here. We're going to do what we do best here at SOTA. We're going to have a lot of performances today. As we know, this speaks louder than words in many respects. So we're going to start with the orchestra and Jerry Pinone and the first number. Jerry? Again, I want to thank all the students for being here, and I also want to make sure that I recognize staff and students, not only from South SOTA, but from the Academy, because back in the day, we were one, and I know Mr. Dallman touched the lives of many, many people, not just from the SOTA, but from both sides or from both schools. So I want to make sure to mention that as well. At this point, I want to ask if there's any family members who would like to come up and say a few words. If you'd like to come up and say anything, you can step up right over here and have the microphone, and it's all yours for the next few minutes. Dog treat to get her up here.
Good afternoon. Thank you for all coming, and I'm up here to represent the Dallman family. My name is Doug Orcutt. I'm a lifelong friend of Tom's, and the family, as you imagine, are feeling a deep loss, and we're a very, very close family. It's amazing how close and how loving they are to each other, and how they took care of Tom along with groups of friends. And when I was sitting at Tom's house, leafing through the letters that the students had read, stacks of them, one of them said, I think I need to thank you, Tom, or Dallman, or Dr. Dallman, or whoever you call them, for taking us out of the school and on trips up to Twin Peaks and the canyons. But reading that, I realized I needed to be thankful to Tom too. He was an extremely generous person, and he left behind lots of friends, very diverse groups of friends, and a lot of artwork too. Maybe you might not know that Tom was a very good artist, and he had his stained glass phase, and he had his pointillism picture portrait painting phase, and it was quite amazing. He built a beautiful stained glass window for my house that I was building, and it was amazing. He just showed up with it one day, and it was just an incredible work of art. So when we all grown up in high school, Tom and I also went to grammar school together, but after high school, we all came back from college on Thanksgiving break, and we ended up congregating at the Dallman's house, because that was the most hospitable place. And so that was when I got to meet the family, and Annie and Julie and everybody else in the family. So it's been a great honor to know them, and just to honor my good buddy. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to thank the family again. We put together some images, and it kind of took the form of almost a lesson or a reminder, because Tom is his teacher. He's a teacher, and he taught us so many things. And he taught us to care about a lot of things. He taught us about where science and art come together. He taught us about nature in terms of the canyon and where he lived at Land's End, and all sorts of those things. So these are some images of him and some of the things he reminded us daily that we should be caring about, because he cared so much about them.
Do nothing till you hear from me. Pay no attention to what's said. Why people tell the seams of anyone's dream is over my head. Do nothing till you hear from me. At least consider I romance. If you should take the words of everyone you heard, I have another chance. True, I've been seen with someone new. But does that mean that I'm untrue? When we apart, the words in my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memories, and others' arms may hold them too. But please do nothing till you hear from me, and you never will. Do nothing till you hear from me. Pay no attention to what's said. Why people tell the seams of anyone's dream. Mama, it's over my head. Do nothing till you hear from me. At least consider our romance. If you should take the words of others you've heard, Mama, I have another chance. True, I've been seen with someone new, but does that mean that I'm untrue? When we apart, yes, the words in my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memories, and others' arms may hold a thrill. Please do nothing till you hear from me. Mama, you never will.
So a number of students want to express their feelings at this moment through performance. So I want to invite the students who are going to be doing musical performances to come on up. The first one will be at the piano, and if the rest of you who are performing would be ready off stage by the stairway over there, waiting over there while we let everybody have a chance to come up and do a short performance. So we'll start with the piano, and again, if there's any performers in the house, please wait over on the side there to be ready to go. Thank you. Thank you.
my junior year, when I took Mr. Dallman's biology class, I was hiking with my family up by Sutro Baths at Land's End, and I actually ran into Mr. Dallman hiking with Ella. And later my mom told me that it was really cute because my whole face lit up when I saw Mr. Dallman, and it was just very sweet, and I'm very thankful to have that memory and many more. And yes.
So we're going to be covering Teach Your Children by Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
So, biology really isn't my thing, but I think even so, the class with Dallman was one of the most enjoyable experiences I had at SOTA, you know, and he was one of the funniest guys I knew for sure, and I'm breaking up. I'm sorry. So I guess I'll start this with a joke I think he'd enjoy. After I hopefully get this into. Hopefully that's good enough. So with the Beatles. There's a song we wrote called Dear Prudence. Won't you come out to play? Dear Prudence, greet the brand new day. The sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so are you, dear Prudence. Won't you come out to play? Dear Prudence, open up your eyes. Dear Prudence, see the sunny sky. The wind is low, the birds will sing that you are part of everything. Dear Prudence, won't you open up your eyes? Look around, round, round. 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 Dear Prudence, let me see you smile. Dear Prudence, like a little child. The clouds will be a daisy chain, so let me see you smile again, dear Prudence. Won't you let me see you smile? Dear Prudence, won't you come out to play? Dear Prudence, greet the brand new day. The sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so are you, dear Prudence. Won't you come out to play? Thank you for listening, Dallman.
Thank you. Mr. Dallman was one of the first people that came up to me and said hi when I walked into the library 6 years ago. And he was just such a warm smile. I don't think any of us could ever possibly forget that smile that he had the capability of stretching his mouth from ear to ear. And looking back, it'll be, we'll miss Tom. He always made a point to come to, if not every concert we did, he at least made it to at least two. And he was always so quick to tell me and the students how great he thought it was, and how in awe he was of the talent that you guys have, and the talent that we share together. And I think we also remember how Tom is one of those teachers who, regardless of how many papers he had to grade or whatever he had going on, he always made it a point in the afternoon to walk around and see what you were doing and to see what we were up to. And I'll never forget him walking into the classroom. Before he even walked in, he was smiling ear to ear with Ella, and he would just sit in the back and just listen and just smile and be really proud of everything that was going on. And so we've cooked up 2 songs that I'm pretty sure he'll like, and so this is for you, Tom. Thank you.
I knew Mr. Dallman when he first came. We've had 3 teachers that have passed on, and oddly enough, all in their 50s, in the prime of their careers. I don't know what it says about anything other than sometimes you reach your peak, and that's as far as you need to go. Mr. Dallman had a unique personality, as we all do. All of us are unique in our own way. It's like a fingerprint in time. We imprint on the world that particular brand that is us, and then we move on. Mr. Dallman had a kindness about him, a gentleness that was unbelievably strong. He was always kind. He never said a bad thing about anybody that I've ever known. And I was trying to think that for most of us, we don't know how to honor people when they pass on. We have a memorial and we perform, and some of us say nice things. And we would like to do a little bit more, but we don't know what. And I was backstage here thinking about Tom, and I realized that not to say a bad thing about somebody is really difficult. Most of us go through the day and at one time or another we'll badmouth somebody, and it just seems part of nature. But I would just suggest to all of us that maybe the next time that urge comes over us, we think about Mr. Dallman, and to honor him, we just refrain from that. And I think that would be one of the most beautiful ways to honor a beautiful person. Thank you.
If there's, at this point, I'd like to give any students the opportunity to speak, both from SOTA or from the Academy. If anybody, I know it's a little intimidating to come and stand in front of all of these people and speak about something emotional, but if you feel the desire to, please do so, and you can just come right over here. Also, any staff members that would like to come up and say anything, now's an opportunity for you to do the same, and if you just come over here and we'll try to get through as many folks as we can that want to speak. Just real quick, share my brief memory, or share my memories briefly, is, you know, I'd come to school in the morning, and usually the first living thing that I'd encounter would be Ella. And I'd be sitting in my office, and in would trot Ella and look at me and wait for me to pet her, and then she'd run off to try to find Merrill, who usually had dog treats. So her relationship with me was limited, but she loved Merrill and would hang out there. And then, you know, as I'm sure most of you know, not far behind Ella was Tom. And Tom would come in and plop down in the chair in my office pretty much every morning. And for 5 to 10 minutes, we'd chat about whatever's going on in school. We'd talk about the canyon, the sort of state of the trails and opening it up to Twin Peaks and all of that sort of thing that he was so passionate about. We talk about the roofs and how to try to make drainage work to feed the farm. We talk about union business, and you know, it was a great thing to have such a partner here in so many different projects, and not just a partner, but a friend, and somebody that I could share ideas with and just share thoughts about life, about work, a great colleague and a great friend. And I know I'm going to miss, and already do miss, those morning conversations and all they meant to me and how casual they were, but when they're not there anymore, you realize how valuable they are. So whoever's first in line, come on up.
So I'd like to kind of start, if we just could have a moment of silence to honor Tom real quick, that'd be great. Thanks. So I had Tom my junior year in biology, like most of us have or had. And I wasn't great at biology. It wasn't really my favorite subject. And I walked into class the first day, and I was like, well, this sucks, biology. I'm terrible at science. I'm going to fail. But sure enough, Dallman comes up to me with that smile that actually was super surprising, because I was told I had the biggest smile, but clearly not, because Dallman did. And he was like, he's so open and welcoming, and just told me that it wasn't going to be like a traditional biology class. Like, I wasn't going to be just focusing on just the papers and writing. He wasn't going to be very interactive with the students. And he was just so loving and caring and understanding when you ever were in like you had a performance, or like you had to turn the paper in late for whatever reason. He was always willing to just like hear you out and cut you some slack, because he knows what we do here is really difficult and things get really intense at times. And it is sad that he's gone, and I know a lot of us are gonna miss him, but I think it's also really important to remember that he still lives through us, and that us doing what we do every single day is the best way to honor him, and doing it the best we can. And as long as we don't forget that, he's not actually gone, is he? Thank you.
I'm just a former student of the school, but when Dallman found out that I was transferring from SOTA to Academy, he passed no judgment. He just patted me on the back and said, just do what's right for you. Dallman was like the father that I never grew up with. He was one of the most supportive people I've ever met in my entire life, and no one has done as much for me as he did in the 1 year that I had him as a teacher, and for all the years that I've known him, and I will never forget him.
So, I never had Mr. Dallman. I'm just a sophomore in chemistry, but I always got here, I always still do, get here early to do work. And something I've missed over the past couple months is him running around the halls with Ella, just smiling and laughing and just just enjoying life. Another thing, the school kind of, to me, seems a little emptier right now. Emptier without the happiness and the love that he exuded just from himself and how much he loved life. So, yeah, just a small little word of how I got Mr. Dallman.
Last year was my my junior year. I had Mr. Dallman as my marine biology teacher, and that year was a rough year for me for various reasons. But no matter what, he really did help me out. I was accused of not coming to my orchestra class by Matt, and Matt was furious with me. I didn't know what to do. I was very frustrated. I went to Mr. Dallman, and he helped me out through the entire situation. He took me up to the 3rd floor and just told me, no matter what, you know that you didn't do it, so you just have to do the right thing. And because of him, I was able to confront Matt, and I was able to deal with my issue. And without Mr. Dallman, I would have never been able to do that, along with all the other amazing things that he has brought to the school and to everybody else. And for that, Mr. Dallman would always say the key to being a good person is to be a kind person and to not say anything rude about anybody and to treat everybody the way they want to be treated. And I thank you for that, Mr. Dallman. Thank you very much. And we will all miss you.
So in case I'm unfamiliar to most of you, I teach math at the Academy, and I've worked there for many years. And as a novice teacher just starting out, Mr. Dallman was very supportive and unfailingly helpful, especially since I don't know what I'm gonna do without him, since he knew more about the ins and outs of teaching and arranging things, and especially union relations. And what else can I say that hasn't been already said about how joyful and happy he always was. I also had the opportunity to one of his hobbies was also playing Dungeons and Dragons, and mine as well. And so we connected and we played together, and I got to see a completely different side of Tom when he was playing these games, because every day he's a loving, supporting, wonderful, caring guy. So naturally, when he's playing an RPG, he's like completely off the wall, counterproductive, brutal, vindictive monster all the time. It's like, yeah, it's just, that's, and of course we laugh because, that's what you do. It's what you do. If you're a nice person all the time, when you play pretend, you want to be the exact opposite. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I just wanted to remember that. All right.
Mr. Dallman had an immense capacity for simplification. He reduced problems, and he helped me reduce my problems to learning and love and growth. And he had such a profound impact on my life and the lives of many students, mainly through just he was a teacher. That was what he did. Even in just, casual conversation, he would always come up with something new that you could learn. He would so generous with his time. He was our NOSB coach, and he would come in on his Sundays and spend 4 or 5 hours just teaching us and hanging out with us, just in his own time. And he drove with us to Los Angeles, and we couldn't just, cut through the Central Valley. We had to go down the coast, because there were elephant seals and geologic formations to look at. And Walala berry pie. So he took us to his favorite pie shop, but we don't just eat the pie. He teaches us about the berry genealogy, because he's Mr. Dallman, and that's what he does. And he taught me so much, and I will continue to learn from him, from the values he taught me for the rest of my life. And I'll miss him a lot.
Hello. When seeing so many people choking up about their relationship with Mr. Dallman, I cannot feel like I am stealing time away from people who had far more meaningful relationships with him. So I will keep my explanation of his relationship with me very concisely. I transferred here this year, and I am a senior, so I'm going to only spend 1 year here at SOTA, obviously. And it was very intimidating being in this school, especially being the visual program, where I had to catch up with so many advanced artists. And it was very hard, and I had a tough time. And one of the first people to make me not only welcome but happy was Mr. Dallman. He would come into Mr. Muggins' class every day, and I started this habit, for whatever reason, of asking him a science trivia question. And he almost never got it right, because I would always ask these super obscure questions, but he was always happy to learn. And that's why I want to speak, is even though I know my relationship was minor, I still was greatly impacted by him. And I think that's the definition of a great human being.
Okay. So I had Dallman last year for marine biology, and last year, sophomore year, was the hardest year of my life. It was a time where I really lost myself and who I was, and Dallman was really there for me and helped myself work around it and really found who I was again. And I just want to send a really big thank you to him. And I just want to read this quick poem. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond's glint on snow. I am the sun on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gabe. I graduated 2 years ago, and I wanted to come up and say something about Mr. Dallman. Looking back at going to SOTA, my favorite moment was working with him after school on some days with two of my friends, working on the trail going down to the canyon and working on the farm. And I just think that it was so beautiful how passionate he was about the farm and about showing us, you know, like how to sustain something like that just as kids. And he was always trying to teach us about stuff like that. And I don't know, I just really appreciate like what he did for the farm and everything. I think it's really beautiful. And yeah, my favorite moments were working with him in the canyon, you know, in the sun, when he was walking around with Ella, and he was just really happy, and he could never be sad, really. He was just so cheerful everywhere, and he really like put that into people, which I thought was really, really cool, and I really appreciated that. But yeah, that's all.
Hi, I didn't get to have Tom as a teacher, but all three of my kids did. And starting with my oldest son, Harlan, who had a difficult time at SOTA, except for in vocal, Tom was by far one of his favorite teachers. He had another one, he knows who he is. He would come home and talk about him every day. And then my second daughter, Jeanette, who was never going to go to SOTA, she was SI, decided to come here as a junior, and the first teacher she came home and started talking about was Tom, how much she loved his class and how much he made her laugh and influenced her. She's now studying marine biology at UC Santa Cruz. And then my youngest daughter came to this school after I started teaching here, and Tom immediately came up to the costume room, which is way buried in the back, and started visiting me every day. And then when I brought my dogs, oh boy, he and Ella would come more than once a day. And then one day he brought me down to his room, and I don't know if I told him about my love of rocks. He went back into his little collection and got out two things for me. He got out a petrified piece of palm that he gave me, and I have. And then he also gave me a very famous piece of 72-million-year-old turtle poop, which I think that a lot of the kids know about. Arliss came here and she started coming home talking about Tom Dallman. And that day when he gave me that turtle poop, I came home to my kids and started talking about Tom Dallman and saying, look what he gave me, other than just a lot of love. And I want to thank his parents as a mom and his family for putting such a wonderful man on this planet and for nurturing him. And I appreciate what he did for my kids and for me here at school.
Thank you. We're coming to the conclusion, and I just want to say, you know, it's human nature at these events to try to find the words and the way to express how you feel, and it always, at least, you never quite say everything you want to say about a person, and that's because you're talking about a life, and a life is so complex and vast, and there's no possible way to, you know, encompass that sort of thing. But you try your best to express what somebody means to you and share it as a community so that we all feel connected through this person. You know, Tom was somebody who answered and I believe it, the calling of teaching. He's a teacher. And really I believe, the way we teach, the only way you teach anybody anything is by example and the way you live your life. And I think today we've heard, and I can say from personal observation, Tom led an exceptional life, and one that we all look at and model ourselves after in many respects in terms of the things he valued and cared about. I want to share just a couple things real quick, and then we're going to close with the choral piece. First of all, thanks again for everybody who came here today, Academy kids and staff, SOTA kids and staff, and family members and everybody else. Thank you. At the beginning of the year, we did a little exercise, and I asked the staff 2 questions, or a number of questions, but 2 that I want to share. Talk about what's important or what's the critical elements in teaching. And Tom's answer was, and he wrote it down at the beginning of the year, so I was just looking at it. Start with a happy classroom. I think that's really a telling statement. Start with a happy classroom. I'll let you draw from that whatever you want. And then the other comment he made when I said and asked, what's your favorite quote? And he wrote, when it comes to information, a man's mind is like a sponge. He soaks it all in, but gets it all backwards. Alfred E. Newman, Tom Dallman. Thank you, everybody, for coming out this afternoon.
consider our romance. If you should take the words of others you heard, Mama, I have no chance. True, I've been seen with someone new, but does that mean that I'm untrue? When we apart, yes, the words in my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memories, and others on may hold a thrill. Please do not to tell you hid from me.